G'day, it's Ben here.
Hey, how's it going, Ben? It's Xavier from Ray White Mangry. How are you today?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good, thanks. How are you, Xavier?
Yeah, good, Ben. Hey, Ben, it's just a real quick call.
Mm.
I don't know if you remember, but you Facebooked for a free market valuation of your home
Yep.
a
I
couple of
remember
days
that.
ago. Yeah. So
Yep.
so look, I just wanted to follow up and just see what obviously if you got it. Did you get it?
Yeah. Came through by email and yeah, had a quick look at it.
Okay, no worries. Look, it's just a follow-up call, and obviously, a lot of people they just want to know what the value of the house is, or they might have plans later on to sell, or so where do you fit? Are you looking at selling, not now, potentially later on, or were you just looking to get a value of your home, or are you looking to downsize?
Uh,
What's your situation at the moment?
uh, to be honest, I was a bit cheeky, just keen to just see kind of what the house is worth. I've done a few renovations and just keen to see what's the kind of the latest market value of where my home might be sitting.
Okay, no worries. Ben, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are you currently living in your dream home?
No. This is one step before that.
Oh, okay. So you've had thoughts of potentially moving, downsizing or upsizing or
Yeah. When I have the money, I'm kind of saving at the moment and just renovating and trying to add some value to the house, and
okay.
hopefully then I can upsize.
Okay. Oh, no worries. Where would you upsize to? If you were to, obviously if you were to sell, if not saying you are, but if you were, have you researched any areas you're looking at moving into, or what areas would you are you considering?
Probably that Manuera area.
Manurewa. Oh, why is that?
I just got some family around there, and yeah, it's a nice place, and the school
Okay.
zone.
Okay. And what kind of house would you be looking for if you were to move to Monroe? I mean, would you be looking for a bigger house than what you currently have, or a bigger section, or?
Yeah, three bedroom home.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, just see what I can afford basically when I go to sell the current one I'm in.
Okay. I'll say you're definitely selling. So maybe not now, but you're definitely selling, maybe once everything's all done.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, awesome. Well, look, on that note, look, I noticed that your street is quite a good street, and the appraisal range I gave you. I mean, does that appraisal range? Because obviously, I haven't seen your property because I haven't seen the renovations which you've done. Does it kind of fit in line with where you saw it, or have you ever had someone do a market valuation on your home before, or was this the first time?
This is the first time. So
Oh,
I'm not too sure where it would sit.
okay. Well, Ben, look, I'm actually in the area this week. I've actually got a few more appraisals to do because, look, the one that I gave you, it doesn't really take into account the renovations that you're doing right now. So, obviously, I'll be in the street, in your street this week, talking to a few homeowners and giving them their updated value. Why don't I pop over for about 2, 3 minutes? Anytime this week, I'll be there between Tuesday and Friday. And then I can have a look at the renovations, give you some tips, and give you some free feedback on what you can do better for your house to add more value. How does that sound?
Xavier, it sounds good, man. That sounds good. Wednesday's good for me.
Awesome. Wednesday, you prefer the morning or the afternoon or the evening?
Evening, thanks.
Awesome. Evening. Okay. No, awesome. So I'll pop over after 6. Is that okay?
Sounds good, Xavier. Thank you. Really
Awesome.
appreciate that.
No worries, Ben. So I've flicked it through to you. And before I do, I'll flick you some information about myself, some more detailed information before I come over. Have a quick look, and yeah, we'll go from there. Thanks, Ben. Take
Thank
care.
you, man. Thanks, Xavier. Cheers, man.
Bye.
Tell us a little bit more about that approach. Walk us through the questions. Like, there's a reason why that you took that approach, right? You didn't jump straight into it. You didn't go. You asked a lot of questions. What can you break that down a little bit more?
Yeah, I try and get to know them. I try not to go into the sales mode,
Yeah.
but I try and find out a little bit about who they are and also what would be the trigger for them to potentially look at selling.
Right.
So I try and find out what's the time frame, what would be their main motivation. So you told me you're looking at moving to Manurewa, and then obviously then I go back to okay, what's stopping you, so what can get the ball rolling, and just trying to build their trust. And then I try and throw in a little Jones theory that I'll be in the street, so it kind of doesn't make it seem desperate.
Yes.
So look, I'm doing what others are. You're doing what others are doing. I'll be in the street, and then I try and give like a time that I kind of doesn't mean that I'm desperately waiting for them to give me a time to come over, but I give them an alternative. Would you prefer the morning, the evening, the afternoon? Give me and then after that, I'll send a text. And then I'll also send some information about myself leading up to it. So leading up to the meeting, I'll send through like maybe some testimonials. Hey, how's it going, Ben? Look forward to meeting you. Please find, some testimonials about myself and my service and my team.
Yep.
Again, looking forward to meeting you. And then another one, hey, Ben, just a reminder, look forward to meeting you. Please find, my current listings at the moment. The market's crazy. Blah, blah. So I try and give some information to them prior to meeting them. So when I meet them, it's not all kind of cold. It's pretty much warm. They know about me. They know what I'm about. They know what I'm selling. They know that I'm a local expert. They know that I'm not new to this.
Yes.
So yeah, man. So that's pretty much it.
Cool. Yeah, man. That I really appreciate that breakdown. I think there's a lot of young agents out there who would take bits and pieces from your call, and also just understanding why you said those types of questions. You're not just there's a process and a reason behind everything that you mentioned. You're not just spinning a yarn. There's a bit of a structure to every single call. Mate. So a quick question on that. So how do you, when you turn up to the house, like what's the plan? Like, are you just going to see how things go with the flow? You said you're going to come for 3 to 4 minutes. That's quite a short amount of time. I assume that it often turns out to be a bit longer than 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh, it will. It's usually just a quick filler. By human nature, we're programmed to say, hey, it's quick, it's simple, it's easy, it's free. But when we get there, the whole purpose is just to build the rapport. So when I get there, I always have an icebreaker before I even walk through the door. So I'll find something, if it's a dog or if it's my socks that I'm wearing, or hey, it's not I'm not here to try and convert you to religion, so I always try and find a middle ground. And then once I'm there, then I say, hey, awesome, thank you so much, Ben. Hey, take me through the house, show me what you've done. Take me for a tour. So he'll take me for a tour, and then I'll just try and find ways to build a relationship, whether it's might be a book that's lying there, or it might be a poster, or it might be something with the house. Just try and find a common ground. And then after that, I'll lead them to the table. Hey, that's a good seat, and then I'll walk towards that table. If you sit in the lounge, you get a bit too relaxed. You start falling asleep. And then you get a bit too cozy. So once I sit down on the table, and then as I sit down, then I say, okay, awesome, and I'll clap my hand. Awesome. So you're definitely looking to sell, Ben, and definitely looking to sell. So because usually some people will be telling you, oh, they just want an appraisal, but then when I get there, I'm expecting an appraisal, but then, man, I should have bought my listing agreement because they're ready to sell. So, because sometimes they've already made up their mind. Once you've contacted them, leading up to it, they've probably already made up their mind that they need to sell. So then I'll sit down and at the table and say, hey, Ben, awesome. So you're definitely looking to sell. And I'll just, I'll be quiet, and then basically, then I'll know what kind of turn. Yeah. So if they say, yeah, Xavier, definitely to say, awesome. So let's cut through the let's cut through the fluff. Let's begin with price. So then I try and, so go for the price. I'll go for the comparable sales. I'll say, okay, so what price are you at, Ben? From what appraisal? Are you thinking the same, or are you above the appraised range, or are you below? Or where are you at? If they say, oh, look, man, I'm probably a bit above. Okay, awesome. Look, what I'll do is I'll sit down here with you, and I'll go through all the sales, and we'll just go through the sales. I'll show them, hey, look, this one's similar land, similar features, sold for this much. So depending on the title of conversation, I'll know where to swing it. If the appraisal range falls in line, then really it's just the price, the sales method, and then also the marketing commission. I'll talk about the commission, but I'll touch basically upon the commission. So hey, look, it's 4.25 on the first 400, 2.5 on the balance. We're not the highest, we're not the lowest, but we're somewhere in the middle. Sounds good. Very impulsive. So no, yeah, man.
Cool. And that's obviously the perfect scenario, isn't it? You know, they come in, they go, actually, yeah, I'm actually thinking about selling, and you go through the whole shebang. How do you leave it if they say, you know, thanks so much, and you say, you know, obviously, you know, you've looked around the house, you've got all the information you need. How do you leave it if they say, no, we're not looking at selling, but you've obviously come
I always get that. I try and be as informative as I can be. So basically I try and over educate them. You know, so you know, obviously this is a price. If you were to sell, I do recommend going through this way, by sales method. You know, auction. This is what can happen at the auction. This is worst case scenario. If it doesn't sell at the auction, this is the reason why auction's the best selling method for your property. So I go through all those different, you know, different stages. And then, you know, when I get to the end of it, okay, Xavier, can we, you know, we'll think about it. Awesome. So, look, on their note, guys, you know, and then I try and impulse them. Look, the market is hot right now, you know, and then I try and educate them, you know, with the LVR being low, the interest rates being lowest, you know, more than 10 years. But I don't give them any financial advice. I mean, sometimes they might say, okay, Xavier, you know, we've got this much left on the mortgage. You know, we're wanting to sell, but we just don't know if we can get another one. So look, yeah, best to talk with your bank or your broker. You know, obviously you can use this appraisal as a price guide in terms of what your house should sell for. And in that way, the broker or the banker can crunch some numbers. You know, so I try and over educate them, and then leave them on a positive note. And then after that, I'll just keep in contact with them, whether it's through calls, texts, emails. You know, and then you're just going to get them say, hey, look, Xavier, we're ready to sell now. So it's just one of those things. You just got to keep in contact with them after that.